What a 2025 it has been.
We've ranked dudes, we've scored games, we've hosted plenty of legends, and we've had a whole lot of fun.
We had a big year.
What about games with names? What were your favorite episodes from this year?
So many good ones. Loved having Big V on. Dan Soder had me cracking up talking about living in the Bay when he didn't live in the Bay. Jeannie Buss, we had the Queen of LA. Thanks to all of our awesome guests. Loved getting to have Light, Slate, Ninko, Will Campbell. We had Will Campbell on. All of those dudes, too.
Remember to like and subscribe to both Dudes on Dudes and Games with Names, and follow both shows across our social media platforms.
Let's look back to some of the best moments from the Nut House in 2025.
Did you see that recent one that Lawrence Taylor drove by Giant Stadium? You saw the lights on and he was like, oh, fuck, I have a game?
Yeah.
And showed up in the first quarter?
He showed up late. They benched him for a series, and then he went out, and I think he had like 7 sacks.
All right, I'm going to tell a story, okay? I don't feel like I'm talking out of school here because this is a funny story. So I'm doing Inside the NFL. Phil Simms is on the show, and Lawrence Taylor is coming in. So it's Phil, Chris Collinsworth, Lawrence Taylor, and me, right? I mean, one of those classic, like, what in the hell am I doing here, right? So Lawrence hasn't showed up yet. So Phil tells me a story. I go, I can't believe Lawrence Taylor's going to be here. I mean, that guy he's just, like, he literally changed the game. And I was just going on and on about him. He goes, you know what's funny about that guy? He goes, he didn't even know the names of the teams in the leagues. I go, get the fuck out of here. He goes, yeah. He goes, one time, he goes, we won some game. They were on the road, and they're on the team playing. They're all hyped. And Lawrence is psyched, and Phil goes, yeah, hey, man, if the Redskins lose, then we're going to be in first place in our division. And Lawrence goes, oh, yeah? He goes, who's in our division? And Phil goes, you don't know who's in our division? And he goes, man, I don't give a shit, right? And I'm thinking, like, that is the genius
that he
of
was.
Him. Let's say, I don't need extra information in my head. You have a different uniform than me. I'm going to ruin your day. So I thought it was a hilarious story. But as always, you think maybe put a little mustard on it or whatever. 10 minutes later, Lawrence Taylor comes walking in. Him and Phil both just start laughing, which was great. They just saw each other. They started laughing. They hugged and everything. You just know all the shit that they did back then. Who knows, right? So Lawrence sits down and he starts telling stories, right? They just start telling things. And in the middle of one story, he goes, we were down in New Orleans and we were playing and he goes, Phil, what's the name of that team in New Orleans? And he goes, the Saints. He goes, we're playing the Saints. It was unbelievable. And then fat sports writers would say that, they would say that he wasn't smart, he was blah, blah. It's like, that's like some Einstein shit. I'm wearing the same shit every day, so my brain I only need to worry about, like, you hear all those stories, how he would sleep through meetings and then get up and diagram the whole play, or they would ask him if it was okay. The guy is like a fucking
savant.
Genius. But the fact that he didn't even know, like the fact that he's almost like a housewife in the level that he doesn't know the names of the teams, yet he's the most alpha dominating player that I ever saw. But you know why he seems like he fell out of the sky is because his favorite player was Hollywood Henderson.
Yeah.
And he was like, Hollywood Henderson was the gap as far as the linebacking position between, like, Dick Butkus in that era and him. He came and it looked like he was an alien. It was because, unfortunately, Hollywood Henderson had, like, substance abuse problems and it affected his career. But one of the greatest another underrated play, 1976, the Steelers are playing the Cowboys, and the Steelers kick off. Guess who receives it? Hollywood Henderson. They had a linebacker receiving their kick in 1976. Like, that just didn't happen. And he took it all the way down the field to, like, their 45, and Roy Jarella, their kicker, just sort of dove like that, and his linebacker knee hit his ribs.
Broke him.
Yeah, and fucked him up for the game. And it's a really hard game to watch if you're a Cowboys fan because they were running reverses. I think that's what it was. It was a reverse on the kickoff, and they were doing all of this shit. And then they got up, and then they just sat on the ball, and the Steelers kept playing, and then they came back and beat them.
Man, how does it feel to be that old to remember a 1976 game that great?
I watched it on YouTube. The first one I watched was 78.
What's the first game you remember watching? Do you know?
some O.J. Simpson was playing in like the early 70s.
Buffalo.
And my dad screaming at the TV. Or something. And my grandfather going, these are the old days. He's like packing a pipe to smoke it inside.
Was he Sherlock Holmes? Fucking
No,
pipe.
old men smoked pipe. And I got to be honest with you, both my grandfathers smoked pipes. And to this day, if I smell pipe smoke, it puts me in like the greatest mood. Because both my grandfathers were these amazing, like, guys. Yeah, so that was probably the first one. But I've also, like, gone back and, like, I've watched all of this history of the NFL. And I'll tell you, a great guy, and he just passed away, unfortunately, and the NFL never gave him his due, was this guy, Marlon Briscoe. He played for the Broncos, black quarterback. They drafted him. He was like second or third string or something like that, and both white quarterbacks go down. This is like the late 60s, and he goes in, and you immediately see the modern-day NFL. It wasn't just standing there throwing like that. He was all over the field. More Randall Cunningham, I would say, than Michael Vick. And he won like 6 of the last 7 games, something crazy. And then, they didn't make the playoffs because they were having a bad season before he got in there. And then the next season, the team just drafted another high-ranked white guy, and they shipped him off to Buffalo, and he finished his career as a wide receiver.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like the 60s.
Well, this is what the 60s. It sounded like right through the 90s, I feel.
Yeah, I guess.
So that's what, like, this is like all of this shit that it was so fucked up is I can remember all of that stuff. And I think because I looked at the football cards and I remember all the names. And then I also went back and I was fascinated, like, what happened right before I started watching football. And then today's game, like, you age out as a player. I also feel you can age out as a fan.
Mm.
And like how certain teams, like, they sort of aged out during like free agency because their whole thing was the draft and their scouts. And then when the game became more free agency, they didn't adjust. I would say as a fan, the fan version of that is I didn't get involved in fantasy football.
Yeah.
So now I don't know the player's name. I don't know what's going on. And then, like, I also feel like they kind of sold their souls, all professional sports, for offense because they had reached maximum density with sports fans, and then offense gets the casual fan.
Sells the tickets. Defense
Yeah, and
wins the
I think
championship.
that they are envious of the UFC to see them start so much later than them, but then go global. But there's something about soccer, football, whatever, and fighting. It just transcends all borders and all that, which I find like really fascinating. Not fighting, because fighting, it's like, I remember Joe Rogan telling this story saying like, if you're driving down the street and there's 2 people playing, catch or whatever, playing base, you're not going to really watch but if you drive down the street and you see a fight, like you got to watch it. And it was sort of like this really,
It's true.
yeah, easy way of explaining how their thing got as big as it did. And I don't know what it is about soccer, but everybody seems to enjoy it.
Because all you need is a ball, kick it, banana
But you could
leaves.
say that about hoop. I guess you need a basketball.
But
in that.
basketball is also very global.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So-
Your point about like how football's kind of changed and evolved and sold its soul for offense is a conversation we have behind the scenes on this show a lot because we go watch 85 game. We watch a game from the early 2000s and the game is so different.
Oh, yeah. You don't even want to hear my conspiracy theory. Like, my conspiracy theory right now is the NFL's in a bad place because they only have one great quarterback. True, as far as like, there's always been Brady Manning, what
about
Elway, Marino,
So
Montana,
who's your one great
Staubach.
quarterback?
So
Mahomes.
Mahomes is the guy that sells the tickets. I'm not saying there's not like great talent at that position, but nobody has put up sort of like, he doesn't have his, Hatfield and McCoy guy.
No.
So it's sort of the only storyline they have right now is can he three-peat? So that's why, like, the ridiculous, that guy took his helmet off in the fucking end zone. The ref says put it back on. I mean, it's just like, he's like, you realize this is televised, right? Like, what are we doing here? So,
That's a penalty. It's supposed to be a penalty. Take your helmet off. It's 15.
Do you like New England so far?
It's good. I've been getting used to it. I'm adjusting. I was telling Julian before I, got drafted up here, outside of going to an away game, the furthest north or east I'd ever been was Atlanta. So, it's definitely, I guess you could say, what some people would call a culture shock for sure. But, the football is great. The people are great. It's been good so far.
What about the food? How you liking the food here?
Some of it's pretty good.
You have any clam chowder yet?
Nah, I hadn't had it. I don't know if that's really my speed. My favorite spot so far is definitely Aria.
Oh, in the north end.
North End. Wait, you like all the trees?
See, people took that
But there's a lot of trees.
People took that and made it sound like I was an idiot. I had never, always thought that the stadium was in downtown Boston.
Yeah.
I never knew that it was, until I came up here on my 30 visit, that it was 45 minutes from the city, so I should have went into more detail when I talked about that.
Well, I understand, Joe, because people take a lot of things I say and make me sound like an idiot as well. So, yeah. So I understand.
What were you thinking with that? I saw you just do something in your head.
Well, I was just thinking, typically, when I just say things, I do sound like an idiot. People don't have to interpret anything. It just kind of happens that way. I would say that, when you start cruising around here better, one of the things you're going to say is the people are great, but not all of them. Okay. Cause that's what I remember thinking when I first got up here. I was like, what is wrong with these people? Everybody's in a rush. It's absolute chaos. They drive like it's combative.
That's what it is. It's the old ladies with the road rage. And I'm just like,
yeah.
Why are you flipping me off?
With style though, they're typically pretty jazzy, driving like a nice vehicle.
I'll tell you one thing though about the people of New England. They are cold. They are they have a mean to them. But I tell you, if you're in need of help, real help, compared to other, I live in other parts of the country where people are nice. And they put on a front of being nice, but if they saw you getting robbed right in front of them, they would walk by. People in New England, they'd help you. Yeah. They're assholes, but because that's just it's so fucking cold here, you got to be something.
It's almost like the head coach, right? I tell people all the time, I'm like, Vrabes, he's the biggest jerk in the room, but he's your jerk.
Yeah.
And you're going to love him. Yeah. I remember when he first came to the team, it was like, oh man, this dude's got an edge. And I knew just from some of the stories at Ohio State back in the day, but then, you get to know Vrabes and you're like, that's my guy. And New Englanders are kind of the same way, man. It takes a bit of a buy-in. You need to walk around on this ground for a minute or two before they're going to recognize the fact that you're actually here. But once they do, sky's the limit, man. And honestly, it's why we stayed. I mean, it's, my kids, grew up here and we didn't want to disrupt that. But on the flip side, we met some amazing people.
Amazing people. Now, Will, Matt Light's best friends with your coach. You have any questions about Vrabes that you have prepared to ask that you may need from Matt?
I don't know. Give me a second to think. I'm sure I'll think
about that.
Yeah, I'm going to think.
Have you been to a Red Sox game yet?
I have. He actually took all the rookies to a game. It was pretty cool. I'm really not a huge baseball guy. I definitely cannot watch an MLB game on TV. Yeah. But going to a stadium.
Eating a dog?
Not into eating hot dogs.
No hot dogs?
No, but some nachos or something like that. Watch a game. I can go with that.
Would you do batting practice if they asked you to?
Yeah, I would do that for sure.
I got to have your thoughts on the Brady statue. Any critiques? What are your thoughts on it?
What would you change?
Hey, look,
if you could change something about it.
I know you've been thinking about this, and I know you want to air this out.
I want to get right to that Brady statue. I just saw it for the first time last week.
In person?
Yeah.
Or pictures?
I was up elevated position looking down on it.
We want to hear your thoughts.
I didn't get right up on it, but before we do that, can we go back just a quick little rewind? Did you get was there a problem? Did you choke on a hot dog why don't you like hot dogs?
I just don't.
You've never liked a hot dog?
Yeah, I think my mom, whenever I was 6 or 7, told me what they were made of, and I was just kind of I don't really want to eat them.
Okay, so you would eat because I brought
no,
turkey sticks.
I eat
a good elk dog or something. Okay.
I'm just not eating Oscar Mayer from.
All right.
Stop and Shop.
I feel better now because
Target.
I don't like to judge
You're
Will,
not eating
and
the
you're a
hot dogs
great
from
young
Walmart.
man. But I was starting to get a little judgy. I was I'm not sure about this guy.
You're gonna eat the hot dogs Matt Light produces, though. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, they're good, but they're all natural.
They are.
Natural casings, the whole nine. Made with love. But okay, so on the statue, so you guys have obviously been up close. And were you there for like the whole unveiling?
Was not.
Okay, I wasn't either. We were out of town. So
Same.
I want to know this much, right? So the most iconic thing, like if I had to pick, I do like the arm up thing is kind of like, it is him. I wouldn't say it's like the first thing I would have thought of.
What was the first thing you would have thought of?
The double hand. Although we used to call that the lighthouse because the guys used to always make fun of me. It was my only move I had. It was like throw both hands up. But Tommy did that quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
Both hands up, yes, and then celebration. So the one arm, I mean, maybe it was just easier for the bronze guy to do the one arm versus the two arm. I don't know. The problem I had right out the gate is it looks lonely. Like, are we doing anything else around there? It's like the base. He's kind of in that big concourse all by himself.
Yeah.
Right?
I think he needs a little squirrel next to him. That's what I think.
I was thinking like Logan and I and Copen, since we're local, we could go meet with the bronze guy. We could accompany him, kind of get around him, make him feel a little bit more at home. You guys should definitely get cast as well,
I don't think that.
Or we could just go stand there and act like.
Do we get a check?
Let's probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I'll still be there.
How's camp been going?
It's been good.
First NFL camp.
It's a lot different. It's a lot longer than college. Like college, it's really only like 2 weeks of practice, and then you're in game week. This was a little bit more long, but it's been great. It's a lot different in terms of like players and playbook. It's just a lot more, information, which is pretty cool. I enjoy that type of stuff. And, but yeah, it's been great so far.
What's been the biggest adjustment from college to pro ball? Is it the size of the players that you're going against, or is it the speed of the game?
I think it's just like the depth of the guys, like whenever you're in college, and the ones on the edge, they go take a blow. The guy coming in, it really didn't matter what school. He probably just wasn't even close to, the guy that was in there first. And, the guy that comes off the bench might do something that you have more problems with than the first guy. So I'd say that's the biggest thing. There's really not a drop off no matter who is in or out of the game.
Yeah, that's the truth. Matt, you played how many seasons again? 11? Do you have any advice for Will going into week one?
Man, I can tell you my week one won't be like your week one because I got injured in camp, and I remember Bill was trying to put me at right tackle, and then like literally the week leading up to our season opener against Cincinnati on the road, he's like, "Hey man, you feel good enough to practice?" And I'm like, I think I can probably go now. And he's like, "Oh, good, we're gonna put you back at left." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And he's like, "And just be ready to go." And then I was late to my first meeting. So that'd be my number one bit of advice. Don't be late. Because we're actually playing in Cincinnati, and my family, like there was not a person in my hometown, I don't think. Like every church bus was rented, everything. They all come down, and it's like, I thought he was going to play. And Bill literally walked up to me the day of, not the night before when I missed the meeting. The day of the game, and it was like, I mean, look, I'm not starting a guy that can't even make it to a effing meeting. And I'm like, okay, yeah, just keep yourself ready. Jesus. Walked away. And that was it.
So did you start?
I did not start.
When did you go in?
When he put you in the game?
Yeah, after I'd been sitting cold as a duck on the sideline, and then at halftime, he's like, all right, you're going. And I'm like, oh, I hate my life. Yeah. So you're going to be way better off.
But what made you're in a way better situation,
Yes.
Will, because you don't want to be sitting there and then be ice cold and going in right after halftime. But what made Bill make that decision? Like, all right, like Light, you go in now at offensive tackle and pull whoever was the guy that was there right then. Was he getting beat? Did he give up 3 sacks? What was his reasoning? Like, all right, let's get Light in there now.
I think he just wanted to see, how I was going to handle the situation, to be honest with you. I mean, he could have, how Bill is, like, once you make a mistake.
He plays games with you to make sure you don't make that mistake again.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
And he was sending a clear message. Now, I will say, that I was only late to 2 meetings in my life. Both of them were the night before games. And fast forward a few weeks, about midway through the season, my rookie year, I missed another team meeting the night before the game. But this time I was with the only other 2 left tackles, or the only other tackles on the team. So he couldn't. He was just like kind of forced to let us play.
I get into basketball really fully like 1979. Lakers get Magic 1980, win the championship.
So we're
A trip in 81, lucky shot by the Rockets, win the championship in 82. 83, lose the championship because a few of our players was hurt, lost to the Sixers. So now we're about to play the Celtics. My brother got this sick-ass look on his face. I'm like, why you look like that? He
older
was
brother,
like-
9 years, got a lot of wisdom. What
He
is it?
said, man, we can't beat them. I was like, what? Are you out your rabbit ass mind? We got Magic Johnson and Kareem. We gonna beat the shit out these punks. He said, man, I done sat through a lot of these. I said, uh-oh. He remember Lakers are always losing to the Celtics.
Oh.
And so we get in this game and they fucking lose.
They lost.
They lost that shit. This was the worst finals that I ever felt, was this loss right here in 84.
But then you jump in.
But next year they won.
Next year they won.
But it ain't next year right here.
Yeah.
This is the
Right.
first time we play in my kind of
New
in my
fandom,
lifetime,
like,
so
yeah.
to speak. And it's the same old fucking song. You know, it's like Jerry West and Elgin Baylor all over again.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys won a couple years before.
Not against the Celtics. It was psychological.
That is psychological
Yeah,
warfare.
it was. It was the worst.
Man, that had to
And
be
it's
so.
7 games because, you know, you right there.
That had to
They're
be,
one game better than us.
so when did older brother come in and tell you that? Before the series?
Once they knew it was the Lakers versus the Celtics.
He said right away. He knew
He
they
just
were
had that
losing.
look on his face.
And he knew. And
He knew.
that ruined. Were you thinking about that the whole time?
I was thinking he didn't know what he was talking about. I thought he was gonna beat him.
And then old brother was
And then
right.
It was just like,
Fuck.
yeah, he was right.
Olympics held in Los Angeles. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Did you go to any of the events?
Nothing. I was broke.
Yeah.
I didn't go to shit.
I would have tried
Watched
to
it
sneak
on
in.
TV. I didn't really care. And, I was into hip hop. Like, hip hop was more important than anything. So I was in Compton all the time.
What?
That's your brother right here?
That's my brother, CJ.
Is that him?
It's him back there. Yeah.
That's OG.
CJ. Yeah.
CJ, man, he knows. He said a couple
Yeah.
things that we've already said.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan gets drafted 3rd overall.
Yeah.
Mario Lemieux, number 1 in hockey.
What a year for sports. 1984. Let's
This is a
go.
fucking
Yeah,
year.
it was an incredible year for LA sports for sure.
Now, what do you remember of Jordan when you were a kid?
Amazing.
Like when
I
you were
remember
here,
when he hit that shot. You know, he hit the shot
North Carolina.
North Carolina because we actually watching James Worthy that game.
Yeah,
James Worthy was actually the man, not Jordan.
freshman.
Worthy was a senior and Jordan was a freshman. So we Worthy is the man. And it's a trip because after the game, we get Worthy. And Lakers get Worthy. And, Jordan, he just goes on this fucking tear. Like, it doesn't seem like after he won the championship his first year, he was just kind of dominant. But they didn't win the championship. But when he got out and was like doing the Olympic trials, he was just killing shit. Like, him being drafted 3rd was ridiculous to me.
Yeah,
It was like he was killing shit. I know they was all after the 7-footers by then. And who went first? Ewing?
Elijah won. Then
Elijah
then
won
Bowie.
first.
Yeah.
I understand that. I understood Sam Perkins too. He big coming off of NCAA championship run.
You ever get to meet my MJ?
Yeah, I met him.
like early in the world when you guys were jumping in hip hop and shit. Like he's kind of like the hip hop of fucking basketball.
Yeah,
If you think about it.
I met him. Probably like 97.
Yeah.
At a
Lake Bend,
Nike. It was a Nike Town event on Wilshire, and he was in there. And I said, "What's up, MJ?" He said, "What's up?" He said, I said, I told people Friday was my favorite movie, and that shit got me in trouble. How I get you in trouble? You know all the weed y'all smoking in that damn movie. I was like, this shit funny. He said, shit funny. I remember he shook my hand. This shit felt like baby foot or something.
Like
it was
octopus?
soft as fuck. Like you ain't never did an inch of work in your goddamn life. My daddy hands feel like cheese grater. Your fucking hands feel like a baby wipe.
Did you say anything to him?
Nah, I just clocked it. Damn. You know, he's 6'6", so his shit was big, and it just felt like a pillow grabbed my hand. I said, damn, you ain't did nothing but bounce a basketball your whole fucking life.
Damn. By
That's what I
MJ,
thought to myself. I don't know why, but I just thought that.
MJ got soft hands.
That's
He
why
got some
can
soft ass
why he can
hands.
shoot that motherfucker so good. He got them soft paws.
Damn, probably like a
Yes.
damn.
Sweet.
Who is the first cool athlete you met when you were coming up?
Muhammad Ali.
Oh,
Yeah, and we was
what year is that?
Man, this had to be 80, 87.
Wow.
We it's a trip. We coming out of this place called Macola, where we used to get our records pressed up because we was independents and Ruthless. We would go right there on Hollywood. It was Santa Monica and Vine,
Hollywood.
around there, and we'd be in there. We just walking out of there and shit, and we saw fucking Muhammad Ali crossing the street by himself. What's up, man? He's like, how y'all doing? You know, y'all ain't down. He's like, we make records and shit. And he's like, oh man, keep doing positive things, man. You know, boom, boom, boom. And he had to keep it moving.
OG.
But I was like, damn, this the champ. Like, this is the greatest of all time right here. Yeah, he bigger
By
than
himself.
I thought too. He was a big dude, like
By himself.
by himself.
That's it. Does he just have
Dolo.
aura? Does he just have aura?
He had an aura. Yep, he had an aura to him.
Charming,
Jordan.
probably too.
Huh?
Probably charming as fuck.
Yeah, you know, it was all love. It was like seeing one of your uncles and shit. You know what I mean? It was just he was as great as you would think he would be to a stranger, you know.
Hell yeah.
To a couple of strangers, because we was all, you know what I mean, we was groupied the fuck out, you know. It was, nigga, this the champ.
Yeah.
We lucky we let him leave and shit. It's like, man, asking him all kind of questions and shit.
You guys are young too.
Yeah, we, you know,
You know,
16, 17, 18.
and he's the GOAT.
He the man.
That had to be.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me the relationship between hip hop and sports?
Oh, man. Hip hop, like, sports without music is just a game. That's how I can explain it. The music makes it all magical. You know, even seeing y'all highlights with the music, it feels like it's, you know, kind of in concert with each other. You know,
It's like a movie.
it's the soundtrack of the, you know, other than you guys breathing and grunting and running and, you know, and all the sounds of the game, but to add that music to it, it turns it like into poetry in motion. So
I think it's inspirational too.
it is, you know.
'Cause that's
it,
where guys pull
gets
for
you going.
motivation.
Gets
Guys
you
will.
going.
Everyone's got a pregame list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone's got something that helps them focus.
And somebody playing like some pregame soft shit, you looking at them crazy like, man, that's what you get hyped up on, you know what I mean, Sade?
I just like Bob Marley.
You know what I'm saying? So you want to hear that rough shit. You ready to go.
I would. So this is how I used to do it. My pregame mix, it used to be real hard, real high energy.
Yeah.
But as I got older, I got into movie music, like
theme music.
instrumentals.
Yeah.
So I could focus and visualize what I was going to do on the field. So I'd listen to some fucking Hans Zimmer fucking Inception fucking soundtrack and shit. And like put myself like I was like in it.
Feel you.
You know what I mean?
That's smart because that is situational music.
Because sometimes I get too involved in the lyric.
Yeah. And
so then I'm thinking about the lyric, but I want to make my own lyric.
And you can also like burn out too quick. Like
you get too hyped.
You get too hyped. And you dead by the third quarter. Like
it's not a sprint.
You ready to stop playing football? It's like you done had your fill of the day.
1,000%.
So you want to make sure you're not giving up too much energy before the game.
1,000. Hey, this is Julian Edelman. As a fellow dude, do you ever get that not so fresh feeling in your butt? That's because you're probably using the dry stuff to wipe. Wet, extra large, flushable dude wipes get what toilet paper leaves behind in your behind. You wouldn't clean the tail end of your truck with dry paper towels, so why would you wipe with dry toilet paper? Wetter just cleans better. With dude wipes, there are no more dingleberries, no more itch and irritation, just a deep, down the seam, confident clean. Plus, unlike baby wipes, dude wipes are extra big for adult hands. You're not a baby, so keep them on hand so you get nothing on your hands. And speaking of on hand, dude wipes come in different scents and pack sizes, including a single-use, on-the-go pack that you can take anywhere for that home field advantage. Stop being an a-hole to your b-hole. Drop the toilet paper. Available on Amazon and major retailers nationwide. Dude wipes, best clean, pants down. When was the first time you met Tom?
The first time I met Tom was actually what was pretty wild when I was at the University of Arizona. I was doing my interview. I had a couple touchdowns that game. I was showing off my touchdown celebrations. And then the lady interviewing me, she's like, who do you see being your quarterback in the NFL? And obviously, right on the spot, I go, Tom Brady would be the best quarterback to have in the NFL, and especially a great fit for me. And that was just the answer, and then I did my touchdown dances and all that. And then what happens? I get drafted to the Patriots, and Tom Brady becomes my quarterback in the NFL. It was like I manifested it when I was in college. I manifested a lot of things. And if you ask Tom, Tom's probably really big into manifesting as well. He manifested all his Super Bowls because right after he won a Super Bowl, he would already have a clock counting down to the next Super Bowl. So he was manifesting like crazy. You just learn so much knowledge from him. And he's done so many things right to be able to get to nature of where he is now. It wasn't like he just had the athletic ability. He showed up. He did everything right, and he put the time in that you can never argue against him. You can't.
Won't give you an option.
Bit. So let's get back to what was I talking about again?
I don't know. I just got
I got a little off.
First time you met him.
Oh, the first time I met him, it was in the training room. I was getting my ankles taped, and he walked in. So I was there already for the rookie camps, the rookie practices, and he just walks up to me. He goes, "Hey, Rob, I'm Tom Brady," and I was like, "Oh, wow, this guy already knows my name." That's also what makes him so great as well, is that he already knows all the rookies' names, all the guys that were drafted, what rounds they were drafted in, what type of player they already were, because he wants to know, their athletic ability, what type of guy they are, so he can understand them, so he can be on the same page as them.
Best out of them,
so he can get the best out of them as well, like you said, and he could have that connection to help win games, so he can be on the same wavelength as them. So he already knew my name, came up to me, and I just thought it was the coolest thing, man. I just said, "Hey, man, nice to meet you." It was just super quick.
When he left, what did you think in your head?
Tom Brady knew my name, and that was the greatest honor to shake his hand while getting my ankles taped. Mm-hmm.
And then he goes and wins 4 Super Bowls with them. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. I had a similar story.
Yeah. What was it like when you met him? What was that story?
I was going from like you said, we were already in there. When you're a rookie, you get in there back in our day, you get in there before the vets reported. And so you'd be there for like 3 weeks. You had rookie camp and learning installations of everything. And so I had a big book. We all had these books. It was like a 5-inch. Remember those old binders? Before we had iPads, we used to have big old binders.
I didn't like carrying them around. I left mine in my locker when I went home.
Yeah.
Even though you were supposed to bring it home to study, I was like, I ain't carrying that binder.
I used to carry it.
Yeah, you did.
I do. I was trying to
You
make a
had to.
goddamn team.
You had to.
So I'm over here getting 5 minutes before the special teams meeting. It's true. And I'm running through, and the vets came in, and I saw the vets come in because I saw Welk in the cafeteria. Didn't say a word to me. But I wanted to
Big timed you.
big time me a little bit.
That's okay.
He had a leather jacket
You
on.
big time him now.
He looks cool. He looks
And I
cool.
like when you guys big time each other. It's entertainment for me. All right, back to Tom though.
And so I knew they were in, but I was going to my meeting, and he walks through the door. You know the entrance of the locker room from the hall? He walks in there, and he goes, I like look at him. I drop my book. I'm like, oh shit, this dude's taller than I thought. And he goes, hey, I'm Tom. I go, Jules. He goes, I know. We have the same agent. Dragon's my agent too, or something like that. And I was like, nice to meet you. And I felt the same way you felt, like, damn, he knew my name. That's fucking crazy. But he knew that. He knew everyone's name, and he made everyone feel special. And that was part of his leadership skill. You know, like what made him such an unbelievable leader. From the meal ladies to, the people in the equipment room, the training staff, like it didn't matter what was going on, how the day went. He was always a pretty cool dude to everyone, and everyone was always watching him. You know what I mean? And that's when you're the quarterback of the team, everyone, no matter what is going on in your life, is watching that person and to see how they react to everything, the success, the failure. Your eyes go to that guy, and he was the perfect guy for us, especially when we were young knuckleheads, to look at like, all right, this is how you have to do it. I tell the story because, everything that's going on with Randy Moss, our thoughts and prayers are with him. But I always tell the story that he used to call you fucking coach. The day you came in and we had to announce our names in front of the whole team. You remember that?
Yeah. Oh, I remember.
Can you explain that?
So I get drafted by the Patriots. It's 2009. Randy's coming off like this unbelievable time.
Years.
Yeah, he's been crushing it. And, it's a little bit before the veterans start coming around the building. But when we have OTAs, we have the mini camps and things like that, Randy's in the locker room. And I remember it came in waves, and I'm sure you felt the same way. It's like, oh my God, that's Tom Brady. And then it's like, oh my God, that's Randy Moss. Like you're playing with these guys now, but slowly but surely it starts to feel more normal. You start to realize, these are just my buddies. We're playing football. It's all the same as it was in college or high school. But there was this weird thing. He gave me this nickname, and it happened immediately. I have no idea why, because we barely spoke to each other outside of passing by each other in the hallway or outside the meeting rooms or on the football field, or on our way to the football field.
Yeah.
He'd be like, hey, what's up, coach? He called me coach. So Randy would call me coach everywhere. We'd be waiting in line. He's like, oh yeah, coach. I know you're going to get on this pot roast because you look like pot roast, coach. And you big fat fucker. I bet you, you're going to have 2 pieces of pot roast? Yeah, I bet you. You know what? Have three. Randy with the West Virginia. And so I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, maybe it's like, I'm in, man. Like he gave me a nickname. Like I'm telling people from back home, like Randy Moss gave me a nickname. He really likes me.
That's what I'm telling you. It was so cool that he had a fucking nickname. He was so funny. He had a nickname.
Yeah, like immediately. I was like, this is the best. And then it's standard, it's customary. Bill Belichick at one point or another in the offseason, he has all the rookies get in front of the room and say their name, who they are, whatever it was. And so I get up there, and I can't remember if it was in the meeting or immediately after, but Randy Moss pulls me aside. He goes, motherfucker, you a player? He goes, you've been a player this whole time?
I think it was in front of the whole team.
You gray-haired bitch, I thought you was a coach. He was like, you a player? Oh, hell no, Bill. Did we waste a draft pick on this motherfucker? Are you kidding me? This great. He was like, was he going to go out there and break a hip? God damn, Bill. And I'm just like, oh my God, that was not a nickname. It was not a nickname. He thought I was a fucking coach.
He thought he was a coach.
How unbelievably embarrassing. I mean, I told everybody. I was like, yeah, Randy really likes me. It's going pretty well, gang. Yeah.
Dude, now how does Dante Scarnecchio have you and Matt Light in a meeting? And how did can you explain the dynamic in a quiet Logan Mankins?
Yeah.
I want to hear how it was from your rookie perspective.
So I walk into the room and Matt Light is a Pro Bowl offensive tackle. I mean, he was like Batman. Like, you'd be like, gosh, how are we going to, they got to change this light bulb. And all of a sudden he'd take something off the bat belt. They'd be like, boop, 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 boop. And he'd like unscrew the light bulb. And he'd be like, it would be funny. It would be funny if we replace it with a firecracker. This way, when they walk in and smoke detector, he always had like a prank he wanted to play. I'm just like, Matt, what the fuck? But he always had all these toys and these gadgets and these things, and he always had ideas. He's a big idea guy.
Idea guy.
Love being around people like that. So Matt's in the room. You have Logan Mankins, who's this Central Valley, California shit kicker farmer who is just roughing dudes up on the regular. Literally could grab like a 300-pound defensive tackle, upend him, stick him in a trash can, kick it over down a hill like it's nothing to him. He had the strongest goddamn hands
Huge.
I've ever shaken in my entire life.
They wrapped around your wrist.
Dude, yeah. You shake his hand, you're getting an elbow massage.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. So Logan's there. He's a Pro Bowler, Hall of Fame. He better be in the Hall of Fame one day. He's incredible. Steve Neal,
wrestler.
They found him. He was like a freestyle world champion wrestler. And then I think it was Philly's practice. Philly signed him first. He was on practice squad, got cut, signed by the Patriots or whatever. But he ends up working his way to starting offensive lineman in the league, played 10 years, 11 years, whatever it was, won 3 Super Bowls. Like, incredible human being, like the nicest guy you ever met.
Loved Four Locos.
Loved them. Dude, and did you ever go on a taco run with the Four Locos with Steve?
The little place in Pawtucket?
Yeah. Dude, I can't, dude, it was, that place actually served great tacos.
Really good tacos.
Really
It was like
good
a fucking
tacos.
mobile home.
Yeah, it was. So Steve was there in that room. Dan Copen.
Cope's the best.
Dan Copen, never without a dip in his lip. And was just so snarky, and he had this nasally voice, and he'd be like, fucking Ohrnberger, class clown over here. We'll see if he makes it kind of guy. But I love Dan. I learned a lot from Dan. Like, Dan was the type of guy who would like bully you, and then he would teach you like the lesson you needed. It would like unlock something in your brain. You'd be like, holy shit, that's how you see this? Whatever it is, a line call, an adjustment on a play. He was just a brilliant dude. And then I'm trying to think if
You remember Donald?
Oh, Donald.
Were you around with Donald?
Yeah. Well, we crossed
Thomas?
Donald Thomas for like only an off season.
Because Matt put a real duck in his fucking locker after practice.
Oh, didn't he do this for like a year?
Yes.
And he had ducks show up in different parts of his life for a year.
Yes. Another weird story was
nobody
Nate Soldier
knew
had a pet duck.
Nobody knew where the ducks were coming from, by the way.
No.
Like, he would find them in his helmet.
Yeah.
He would like be putting his helmet on. He was like, another duck. Like, it was a problem for Donald. It was a problem.
In honor of this awesome college matchup, Rob and I are going to take a little trip down memory lane and relive our glory college days.
Oh, back to school to prove to my mama I ain't no fool.
Is that Billy Madison?
Something like that.
Back to school.
'Cause I'm not a fool.
I'm no fool. Let's go down memory lane of our college life. Why'd you choose Arizona?
That's a great question, and everyone asks me that because I'm from Buffalo, New York. I actually played my senior year in Pittsburgh at Woodland Hills, but I claim myself in Buffalo. Obviously, I grew up there for 17 years. So my dad's in the business world of selling fitness equipment commercially and retail. And he goes on those conventions, those business trips. And he met a friend there that did the same exact thing that he does in Arizona. And that guy was an Arizona alumni, part of the Desert Storm defense and all that. And when we were growing up, he became my dad's good friend. And every time they went on these, business trips, they always met up. I was growing up, we were just kids. So he was in my dad's ear. Hey, when your kids, biggest Wildcat alumni, loves the Wildcat. Hey, when your kids grow up, they got to take a trip to University of Arizona. And this guy became really good friends with my dad. So you got to bring him to the University of Arizona. So then my older brothers, they were getting recruited. They weren't at a high level. So whatever you can do, you got to call up a friend. Hey, can you, have this coach look at my son? So I actually went on the trip. So I just tagged along when I was a sophomore in high school just to see what it was like. And I got on
Two Gronks on a visit trip?
Yeah, and I got to the campus. I was like, God damn, man, what kind of school is this? I mean, they got pools, they got palm trees. I mean, it's sunny every single day. It's 90 degrees. And that's when I first fell in love with the University of Arizona. So shout out to Donnie Salem. He's still doing the same thing. He's still in the fitness world, selling fitness equipment, retail, and commercially. He's actually a sponsor. He sponsors the Denver Broncos because he's based out of Denver now. So without Donnie, I would have never been at the University of Arizona.
Freaking Donnie. I went to Kent State.
Yeah. Why'd you pick Kent State, Jules? Like Kent State, like you're from the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Kent State's in Ohio. I mean, I think they do Halloween really well in Ohio, but I don't think you were into things like that when you were a kid.
Nah.
Why'd you pick Kent State?
I picked Kent State. My goal in high school is I just wanted to play Division I quarterback. D1. Didn't matter where. I just wanted to go D1. I really wanted to go to play in the Pac-10. I wanted to go to Berkeley because that's where I was from, that area. And Aaron Rodgers went to Butte, and I went to JUCO, and he went to Berkeley after. So I kind of like wanted to go to Berkeley. Played 1 year at JUCO, lit it up, and then all these schools started asking, sending me letters, and Kent sent me out and offered me a scholarship after my first year. And a lot of these schools wanted me to change positions. Kent's like, we'll let you compete for our quarterback right now. I took a trip out there, and I had the opposite thing of what you had of like, oh, palm trees. I was like, man, it's freezing out here. There's no leaves. I was coming from California where it's never really fall out here. You know what I mean? And it was like bare. It was cold. I went to a spring practice, and I was like, fuck it, man. If I go here, I could play. I could play right away. I watched their practices, and I was like, I'm going here. Fuck it. It's the best thing that happened. I'm going to play in the cold.
Mm-hmm.
Kent State going flashes, baby. Let's go. Shout out Casey Wolf.
Did you have any other offers?
Not after that one. Not yet.
No, just Kent State.
Just Kent State.
So you're going there no matter what. Kent State.
I still had another year at JUCO. I had another year at JUCO.
Oh, you could have played JUCO.
I had one more year at JUCO.
Yeah, but you were paying for JUCO, right?
Yeah, but it's like $500.
So what? It's $500 you didn't have. You would have had to take out a loan or a free ride.
Yeah,
Get $500 a month from the school.
My pops took care of that one.
That's a good pops right there. Shout out to the pop.
Did you have any other offers?
Yeah, I had a couple other ones. My top four was Ohio State, Clemson, Syracuse, because it was right down the street, about 3 hours away from Buffalo, and Arizona. So those were my top four schools. And I had the wildest recruiting visit to the University of Clemson. I had one of the best times. I mean, shout out to my hosts. I don't even know their names out there, but they're probably telling the story to this day still of those guys that were on the team that hosted me at the University of Clemson.
What's this story?
I mean, I remember I was on a bar, I was dancing, and then I don't know, there was cheerleaders there, and I was just going ham like I usually go ham. Like, that's all I wanted to do. Like, hammered off like apple juice, I'm talking.
Yeah.
Apple juice hammered, and it was great time. I had a voicemail after I picked the University of Arizona of, some girl that night, I guess I gave my number to, literally left a voicemail on my phone after I picked the Wildcats and was basically just told me how bad I messed up with my decision. Yeah. I'm not going to exactly say what the voicemail was, but I was like, this is incredible. I thought I was so cool. Yeah.
Ohio State?
Ohio State was awesome. Right there. I was hungover off apple juice there, too. And that picture that went viral when I was in high school and took a visit there. I was definitely, a little apple juiced
Look
out.
at little Rob.
And
man.
I was at the game. Let me tell you, Ohio State, Clemson, you can't beat their facilities. You can't beat their organization. You can't beat the crowd. You can't beat their stadiums. But it just wasn't my fit. And if you know me personally, I'm not a guy that can get intrigued by that type of stuff. I'm a guy that sticks to my roots. The University of Arizona was where I belonged. I felt at home there. I felt like I could go there and play right away. And also at the same time, I knew if you did well enough, it was Division I, you're going to go to the NFL. Like there's guys going to the NFL at Arizona.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can get to the NFL still. So it wasn't like
It's
I
still
wanted
D1 program.
Yeah, D1. I wanted to, be part of a team that turned it around. I like Coach Stoops. Ohio State, though, I mean, I was blown away about everything. But at the same time, I was like, I can have all this if I make it to the NFL.
And you did?
Yeah, and I did.
Did you almost get kicked out of Arizona at all?
I never really have. I mean, we got in a couple big fights.
Yeah.
That was I would probably say that was the closest to getting kicked, off the team.
Yeah.
But there was a big, huge fight. There was like 10 guys
Same.
involved. Like I got brought in like 3 days later by the police officer that was investigating it. And he was actually on our side. And literally I didn't even like open my mouth. I didn't tell on anyone. I was like, I don't even know what fight you're talking about. And he's like, no, I'm here for you. I'm on your guys' side. But still, I'm like, I don't know, man. I was just walking by and I don't really remember much.
Gronk, no rat.
Yeah. No rat. No rat. Stick to the roots. Arizona was where it was at. Other schools were great, beautiful, nothing bad to say. Just I belonged, at the University of Arizona.
And I belonged at Kent State.
You did belong at Kent State.
And I loved Kent State. It opened up my perspective to the country. It was a great – the people of the Midwest and Ohio, Northeast Ohio are such awesome people. They love football out there. I was just always disappointed because I went to Kent State and everyone would leave our game to go watch the Ohio State game. Like we had no fans. If Ohio State had a game during the same time, people at our school, at every school in Ohio, love Ohio State. I didn't realize how big it was because, I grew up in the Bay Area where, we had Cal and Stanford, but it was really a pro sport area. We had Niners, Giants, Warriors, Sharks early in my life, came in there. And Cal and Stanford were big, but it wasn't huge. And I didn't realize how big college football was until I went to Ohio and I saw how big Ohio State and that fan group was. It was freaking crazy to me.
Here's a question. I've always wondered this because Ohio State's so big. They get 10,000 plus people a game. And you went to school in Ohio at Kent State. Is Ohio State the football program out of all football programs at any level in the state of Ohio? Does it dominate
100%.
The Cincinnati Bengals?
Without a
Does it
doubt.
dominate the Cleveland Browns?
Yes.
If you're in Ohio, you grow up in Ohio, it's all about the Buckeyes, or is it about the Browns or the Bengals more?
Buckeyes, number one, guarantee. You could go anywhere in the state. Like you go down to like Cincinnati, and you can see this in like gas stations, or you go to like Cracker Barrels that are all over. They'll always have Ohio State shit. They're selling Ohio State mugs, this, that. You go to like the West Virginia part of Ohio where it touches down there. You see nothing but Ohio State. You go up to Dayton, which is a different area, like near Indiana and stuff. They love Ohio. They love Ohio State everywhere in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand it. It's huge. Did you ever host any recruiting trips with any other NFL guys?
No, not really. So when I was at the University of Arizona, they didn't allow me to host anyone.
Why?
Yeah, I hosted one player, and we got chased by a helicopter.
No, you didn't.
I swear.
What do you mean you got chased by a fucking helicopter?
We got chased by a helicopter. I hid under a car. Yeah, and this recruit was running around with me. He was a top JUCO recruit. I thought I definitely sold him. I thought he was definitely coming to the University of Arizona.
He didn't?
No, he ended up going to Arizona State. Never seen him again until he goes to Arizona State. I was like, I thought he was definitely going to choose the University of Arizona. Like I was like, and then I'm on the Patriots, like 2016 or something. I don't know what year exactly. We signed some guy on the practice squad midseason, a lineman. He comes up to me. He's like, yo, Gronk, remember me? And like, back in my mind, I'm like, I do, but I don't. Because I never seen him again. He left. After that night, he was gone, then chose Arizona State, big-time recruit. He's like, yeah, you hosted me at the University of Arizona. And then everything just started clicking. And I was like, oh, my gosh. I was like, how you doing? How you doing? He's like, I'll remember that night for the rest of my life. But I can't believe he went to go be a devil.
Yeah, he can't set foot in Tucson anymore because the goddamn helicopter will chase him. He had to go to Arizona State.
The message of
we should write a movie off that hangover. That's like a hangover shit.
Was basically we were at a party and got broken up, and there was always a helicopter that broke it up, and everyone started running. And just the premises of the story is the helicopter followed us. So then I was like,
Two
fuck
biggest
this.
guys.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's a lineman.
I was like, oh,
You're
screw
fucking
this.
Rob. There's
Yeah.
probably two.
But we got away. We got away.
Scot-free.
It helped my skills. Helped my football skills on the field.
So your
if you can
point-
get away from a helicopter, you can get away from a defender.
I got one bone to pick though.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Want to hear this one.
Now, can you at least confess that Bill is way softer on fucking defensive guys than offensive guys? And you want to know how I know? Because he would come up and ask us questions. Like on Wednesdays, he'd always test us, right? He'd always test us, both offense and defense in front of each other. He'd look over at me, Edelman, what coverage is this and this? He'd look over at V, hey, V, what color is the team we're playing?
No, that's not true. I don't think
1,000%.
But see, we thought, because you got to understand, Bill used to come into our meetings. When he leaves squad and all that, he would come in there with us and grill us.
Yeah.
So our question answering, he might not give it to us all in a team meeting, but he'll leave that meeting. When we break up an individual, he'll come in there and grill us with questions.
Hey, Big V, we're playing Derrick Henry this
I'll tell
week.
you
Is
this.
this a run or pass team? He used to say shit like, I'm not even joking, bro. I'm sitting there. They're asking us scheme this. They're like, hey, does this team coach like to throw it or run it?
I'll tell you what, I'll tell you a funny story with Bill and me, right? So my rookie year, I think we in mini camps or something like that, and he's asking questions. And I mean, he's going around and he's asking like layup questions, right? So he get to me, he said, Vince, what is Memorial Day? So I'm like, man, I don't know if it's a trick question or not. So I was like, barbecue. He said, no, you a-hole, what is it? I'm like, that's what we do, barbecue. Man, when I tell you, Bill couldn't do nothing but laugh. He could do, because I'm like, what are you asking me? I'm like, it's a trick question. What are you asking me? So he went on to tell everybody about Memorial Day and all. I'm like, hey, man, I'm like, Bill, coach, I thought you was asking me what we do on Memorial Day. He said, nah, no, you asshole. I'm talking about that. I'm like, my bad. That was my first question from Bill. And that's how I answered it. The first question.
And he had a little jolly smile. Now, if that was
the smirk,
an
the
offensive
smirk.
guy. Oh, asshole, you guys got get out of here.
No. When he used to ask Gronk question, we would laugh. If Gronk knew it or didn't know it, we would laugh. And he would laugh. So it's like, he would. I truly believe with Bill, and when it came to me, I can truly think that I think Bill was testing me early on in my career on my knowledge of the game. I really was, and I appreciate him so much for doing that because he taught me so much about football and the game itself. You know, a lot of questions that he would. You got to understand, when I was a rookie, our defensive line, we was in charge of knowing quarterback pivots, the route tree, blocking schemes, cadence, motions. We had to know all of that.
Which gives you an advantage because
Absolutely.
if you know the concepts, you know that the quarterback's got to get the ball out.
Formations, like, yes,
Which it's crazy to me that teams don't do that.
But Bill stopped. I think we were the last class that came in that he did that to. But I think, looking back now, I think he was just basically trying to see how smart and my football IQ was, because in Bill's mind, Bill is thinking 3-4 steps ahead.
Yeah.
He's like, let me see, I'm gonna test and see what he knows. And I proved to him that I know the game of football, you know, and I think that allowed us to do a lot defensively, scheme-wise, with me knowing what's going on, not only from a defensive line standpoint, but, you know, the back end from the defense and offensively what they're trying to create and build through formations and this and that. So it was like not only we had, you know, the secondary, if it was Rodney or if it was Dev with the calls, you know, we had our linebackers with the calls. Now he have trust that, okay, I know Vince will be able to get calls out, get us lined up front. And it allowed us to play so much faster as a defense. And I credit all of that to Bill because how he taught me the game. I thought I knew the game, but, you know, sitting down and having a conversation with him, you'll know right away, like, I don't know much about what I think I do. So I always thank God because
he meant a lot to me, not only in my personal life and the friendship we have and we built over the years, but as a coach, what he was allowed to coach and teach me. That's why I became the player I became. And that's why I moved from nose tackle to a defensive tackle to an end, and then I can flop to go to this side. So I didn't play a nose traditionally like any other two-gap nose, because Bill had the luxury of moving me in different positions, and I can produce at those positions. So it just allowed us as a team in defense to manipulate a lot of play calling from my offensive standpoint, because they never knew where I was going to be,
And a lot of it is common sense, though, which is, all right, take best defensive lineman, put him on worse offensive lineman, may not be in traditional spot, but that's weakness.
But
and then you win. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's crazy. Like, I watch a lot of these defenses, and I'm like, I guess we're just that much smarter, because I'm sitting here and I was talking to Antonio Gates. We did a show together, and he doesn't realize that I was in 7th grade when he was talking about the game that he was playing. I'm like, I wasn't in this game, but the whole time he keeps on talking to me. How the fuck we lose these Patriots? And it hits to me like, it's because we were like what you're talking about. We were the smartest football team by far.
Yeah, we were. We always was.
You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just know your position. You knew the rhyme and reason why you were doing what you were doing.
Yeah, it's a lot of times I lined up, and I knew we had teams where first play of the game, I'm lined up somewhere opposite their nose, because the offensive line was said. I got a lot of old crap. Didn't realize I was going to be over there. So now I know, okay, now I'm playing with your scheme, because everything you prepared for, it's not it. Yeah. So now you have to go back to the drawing board, and you have to figure out, okay, where Vince is going to be, what they're going to be playing. We thought it was going to be this, but yeah, I remember, like, it's a lot of offensive linemen like, oh, crap, you over here? What you doing over here? Yeah, to screw your play up. Yeah. Simple as that.
Now, a guy you played with on those defenses is now the head coach of the New England Patriots, Mike Vrabel.
Love it.
What are your thoughts on that?
I love it. And the thing is, I had the luxury to be a player with Mike, and in Houston, he was a linebackers coach, so play for Mike. And I always knew since the time our playing days that he was going to be a head coach. I always knew that. He was a coach. Like, no doubt in my mind that was going to happen. And I love that move, because he's going to get the best out of everybody.
Yeah.
And he's very smart when it comes to the game of football. He knows exactly what he's doing. He know how he want to deliver messages. He's outspoken. If he believes in something, he believes in it. If he don't like something, he'll tell you. He'll speak his mind. But at the same time, the respect that he receives is because what he pour out. So I think we're in good hands with Mike. I really do believe we're gonna do some wonders this year. We're gonna see a different football team this year, and I'm expecting for us to shock a lot of people. Just because of I know Mike as a person and a player and a coach. I've already known him. I know him.
Yeah. And they spent money.
Yeah, they gonna spend. Guess what? He ain't for to hide his hand. If he wants somebody, he gonna let it be known. Hey, we need this player. Yeah. I don't want him. We need him.
Yeah.
He'll tell him, and that's what I love about him. He's a player's coach, but at the same time, he's disciplined. He's gonna have a smart football team. Not gonna make a lot of dumb mistakes. And they're gonna play hard for him. So I'm excited about it. I'm happy that we did get Mike. If that was the choice, I love that we went and grabbed him, because I think he'll do wonders for us.
Yeah. You think these teams are going to look more like our old teams?
Yeah, in some capacity, yeah. I think one of the main things we're going to get is the competitiveness and aggressive play. I think, and a smart team, so you're going to see, we're going to look apart. We're going to look like we know what we're doing. The past 4 or 5 years, we didn't look like that. The past 4 or 5 years, what we look like? We look like teams we used to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, how you do that? That's how we used to look. I don't think we'll look like that.
Special teams.
Yeah, we're gonna be coached very, very well and hard, and we're gonna play hard.
What's the difference between Vrabes as a coach and a player?
Really nothing.
Really nothing.
Really nothing. That's why when I played with him, he's the same guy as a coach than when I played with him. You got to understand, I seen him and Tom Brady go at it on the sideline or practicing. You know, I've seen Braves walking out a quarterback's meeting with Tom. I've seen Braves and Tom walking down the hallway with a playbook talking about this and that. I've seen Braves and Tom talking about scheme. I saw and I heard Ray tell Tom that would never work against this guy. I've seen it. Like, so the respect Tom gave him for input in what he was trying to do, that tells you everything.
What was the worst thing you ever heard Coach Vrabel say to Tom?
I mean, it got F you. No F you. The
Nothing
F-bombs,
was off limits.
Yeah, F-bombs was always a part of it. He didn't care who you were. Bill get F-bombs. Brave, man, look here. When I tell you, when Mike believe in something, he going to stand firm in it. And he's going to tell you why. Now, that's what I love about it.
Was he a smart shit talker?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
So he like pulls something out of the cutties.
I've been on the field with a call come in and he'll shake his head, this is not going to work. I've been in the huddle with him. Or when we in the meeting room, that's not going to work. And he'll tell you why. He was so smart as a player. It was just, you would never believe that he was a linebacker. The way he saw the game, he saw it as a head coach. Scenario, situation, he's seen it as a head coach, as a player.
Now, this just popped into my head. Do you think Bill liked Vrabel more than you because he let him play offense and gave him a touchdown
Man,
pass?
look here, that's one thing I regret with Bill. Like, come on, Bill. Like, and the crazy thing is,
fullback?
But the thing is, he did Seymour. He let Seymour line up in the backfield. So I'm like, man, listen, no shade towards anybody, but I was the best. I was the best athlete on the defense, hands down.
Tell him.
Straight up. I returned kicks in high school. I kicked the ball in high school. I played every position you could possibly name on the field. One position I would never play is center. But I tried it and I hated it.
Yeah.
But I played every position. Like, I played basketball. I dunked basketball. I did all of that. I was the greatest pound for pound athletes on the Patriots. I mean, Jamie
agree.
Collins, pretty tight. But listen here, a guy my size to do what I did, we're not for to play this. I played linebacker. I dropped in cover. Like, I could do all of that.
And you could dance.
I could dance.
Like a ballerina.
I could dance. My footwork was good.
That's
I
what
had
people don't
speed.
realize.
So
You're
it's like,
345 pounds and you could move like a ballerina.
So for me not to be on the offensive side of the ball when I see a lot of guys, not just from us, but other teams, putting their guys in the background that's, have some athleticism to them, that was kind of bummed out for me.
Now,
honestly.
would that be a perfect moment to use if you saw Bill mofo?
Oh, I hit him with that.
You hit him with
yeah, you mofo.
DT.
No, you remember when it was Matt Castle and Tom going back and forth?
I wasn't around for that.
Oh my gosh.
What happened?
They was going back and forth pranking each other. So I think Matt filled Tom car for all of these little bubbles.
The peanuts.
So Tom took his tires.
And hit him everywhere?
And hit him so he had 3 tires and still was looking for one. It was in the bubble. So Bill finally like, look, guys, just stop screwing around. Yeah, you're playing too much playing. It's getting out of control. Just get. So Bill had to put a stop to it, man. He was going for weeks. He was going, dude. I'm like, dude, when I tell you, some of my most funniest times in life is on a football field and in a locker room.
Oh, 1,000%.
You know what I mean? So people always ask me, do you miss the game? I'm like, no. I miss my teammates in the locker room and the fans. That's what I miss. I don't miss the game itself. I miss the camaraderie, just hanging out in the locker room 2-3 hours after we finish and just sitting down and drinking Gatorade and just hanging out in the locker room. Like,
Rob, do you remember the first time you did the Gronk spike?
I was born doing the Gronk spike. Rose Sparks makes sure you convert on scoring. That way, there will be plenty to celebrate.
Rose Sparks are a 2-in-1 prescription treatment for guys who need a game-winning play. They dissolve under your tongue to work in 15 minutes on average.
And you're right back in the game. No awkward wait time.
Exactly. In just 15 minutes, you're good to go for the rest of the night.
Rose Sparks dual action formula contains tadalafil, which stays active in the system for up to 36 hours. No, you don't stay hard that whole time, but when you get aroused, your body can respond.
Rose Sparks can give guys bigger, thicker erections. Yes, really.
Row connects guys with a medical provider 100% online, so you don't have to waste time in waiting rooms. If approved, treatment ships directly to their door.
If prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off your first order of Sparks on a reoccurring plan. Connect with a provider at ro.co/dudes to find out if prescription Rose Sparks are right for you. That's ro.co/dudes for $15 off your first order.
In my career, I played 11 years. You guys played a little bit longer. What'd you play total?
12.
12.
11.
You played 11?
Yes.
All right. So I can ask you this. If you would have played 11 or 12, right, would there have been a difference in how you're living right now?
Probably.
You think so?
Maybe. There's a few more M's.
Yeah, a few more M's. But at the end of the day,
It was
few
a
more
bigger
M's.
contract in the back of my career.
Yeah, but
There's a lot bigger.
how many headshots
We
you
would probably
take?
be in
How
the
many headshots
penthouse
you take?
right now instead of just on the third
You take any
floor.
headshots that last year?
They don't even hit
So
anymore.
the few M's.
They don't even hit anymore.
Yeah, okay. We throw on the
It's flag
Seattle
football
clip.
out there.
That was 15 years ago.
I know, but they all catch up to you. So
you
for
see,
me,
these
I just-
Vices helmets are freaking sick.
we didn't play
If
with
I could have
those.
kept playing, I would have kept playing.
We played with the helmets that they're banned now. You can't even put them on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Year one.
No, the last helmet I wore, you can't even wear anymore.
Yeah, that's you. That sounds like a you problem. I was
that's-
wearing a Vices
ask
for like
Tom.
10 years.
That's Tom. His helmet, he can't. He couldn't. Tom had that old school helmet.
I
Remember how
remember.
big his helmet was because he's
Yeah.
got such a large head. It was like elongated, like a bus, because he has that like 2X helmet that he wore, and it was that old school Rydell. Remember the old school Rydell? He couldn't even wear it. At the end of his career, he was grandfathered into wearing his
just like the single button guys.
Yeah, remember that?
Aaron Rodgers is
Aaron
still
Rodgers,
grandfathered into it.
Yeah, he's a meme now because of that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into
Chin
the hard
strap
hitting
on the
questions.
nose.
We didn't
Yeah,
get
this
anything
is
to
too
our
easy for
kids.
him.
Come on,
Let's go Pats over under 11 wins this year.
under
Why under?
11 wins.
I know you're a
they
big
just
Patriots
had 4
fan.
wins.
Yeah, but
Let's be realistic.
new coach, new players,
300
free agency,
okay, so-
hit in the draft, got the
Wait.
tackle, got wide receivers,
Got the
defense is stacked.
It's-
Why
Wait a
under
minute.
11?
Wait a minute.
I'm just saying, let's be realistic. You think you're gonna have 12 wins? 12 wins.
12 is a lot.
They're gonna be a 12-win team after being
That's
a 4-win team.
tough. I'm just asking.
it is tough.
I mean, look at the Washington.
So I took the under.
Commanders?
Yeah,
Right?
Commanders.
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 Yeah,
So
they did it.
You just said, so
All right,
my
all right,
thought
how
is,
about
do you
9?
win?
Over under 9.
All right. That's more realistic.
I'm a 9. I think they're 9-10 win team. 9-10
So
win
you're
team.
going
Okay, there
over,
we
you're
go.
going
11 is a lot.
I'm going over on 9, and I'm going
Okay.
under on 11.
Okay. You're
See?
right. 11
That's a
is
realistic.
That is.
So, do you think that you can win instantly with overpaying in free agency?
That's a great point because look at the.
They just spent $355 million.
Let's talk about the.
That's a lot.
The dream team, Philadelphia Eagles. Remember 2013?
Yes.
Coach Belichick always put them up on the board. There was so much talk about them. They were talking, we're the greatest team. We got so many free agencies come in, and then they went 5-11 that year. 6-10. And they brought in that many free agencies. It doesn't mean you're going to gel as a team when you bring in that many free agencies.
Exactly.
But they're veteran free agencies. Vrabel's a guy that kind of, feels like you can gel them together.
He's a guy that, he's the glue guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of them dudes. You see him in the what's it, Forged in Foxborough now? They got we're Forged. We're like building this thing up like our
every
new
team has one
like
of
our
those
new
now, though.
facility. We're gonna build it from the ground up with steel and iron, and we're gonna
It's good. It's
yeah,
good
it's
marketing.
great. It's great marketing. So my thought is, if you protect the quarterback, which is number 1 in the NFL, right?
So I don't think you can ever overpay for offensive linemen.
No, but they didn't.
So like
they
when you said they overpaid for a bunch of free agents.
how much did they
They
pay
didn't
for
get any
Diggs?
free agencies on the offensive
Did
line,
they get
though.
an offensive line?
No, they got Moses.
Moses.
Yeah,
He's a little
one
old.
guy.
Yeah.
34.
Yeah.
He's been around. Last year was kind of riddled with injuries.
Where did they get him from?
He
Where did
was
Moses
with the
come from?
Commanders.
Okay.
Yes. So actually, he was.
He's
I
Jets.
played against him
He
with
was
the
with the
Commanders,
Jets.
and then he went to he was with the Jets.
He was banged up last
He
year.
was
Played
banged
against
up.
him. Is he
But
good?
they drafted.
He's
They
a very
drafted
good player.
the kid.
All right.
They
which-
drafted, and I
Will
would say
Compton.
I would say that all
Campbell?
his interviews, Campbell, not Compton.
Will Compton. I'm thinking about
Will
what's
I was
his
just
name.
on busing with the
That's
boys.
what I saw.
Bussin' with
Yeah.
the boys. Did he make that tackle, by the way, or did he miss it?
Well, I was on the sidelines and like
Did he
kind
push
of
you
just
out?
pushed me out. It was like a gimme.
Okay.
It was a gimme tackle.
Okay.
But what was bad on his part is it was just a normal flat route, and I got 12 yards in the flat route. He didn't do his job in the coverage game.
Yeah.
No. So and then it was a gimme tackle. So
It's a tough, I mean, you on the sideline.
I was rolling though. I was fast back then.
Yeah, you were pretty fast. So I think you look at, I do like his interviews, by the way. The
Campbell?
first overall pick, right? If you could describe yourself in one word, how would you? Nasty. My job is to protect the quarterback. I love getting down and nasty in the trenches. I'm just out there pass setting, trying to protect my quarterback. Like that gets me going, right? You love offensive linemen.
All right, wait up. How many times have you been practicing that
No,
accent?
I just made it up just real quick. It's like you and the Bill Belichick impersonations. How many times you're in the mirror just, I mean, come
We
on.
sat
Timmy,
next.
what
I
the
sat in
shit?
front of him for 12 years and watched him pick his nose and shit.
You did, yeah.
I could tell you his habits from everything. Just
Yeah, I
as
know.
you could.
Isn't that it? It's attractive, isn't it?
But
When
you didn't
Picks his
sit next
nose.
to Campbell for 12
no,
years.
I just listened to him, and
then you practiced a couple times.
No,
Once.
Just, you
You
just
practiced once.
It's all about watching.
You recorded
and
yourself once doing it.
No, never did that.
Yes, you
No,
did.
I don't think I did.
Yes, you did.
No, Jules, I think
All
I'm
right,
just
my
pretty
bad. Let's
good at
get back.
improv.
This is a friendly
Just-
episode. All right. We don't need to be throwing
let's-
haymakers
Yeah,
at each
come
other.
on, geez, I'm gonna have to jiff you.
All right. Well, talking about Bill, we got Ninko here and looking at that hat. What was it like visiting Bill at Chapel Hill?
Yeah, Chapel Bill.
Yeah, it was great.
I
It
was
was
Chapel
great.
Bill.
Nink.
Yeah, it was great. We had a
Did you
good
hit the
time.
bars? Did Paige
didn't go
let you go out?
No, I didn't do anything
All right.
like that.
Even being
Yeah,
that far away?
Track
Like-
my phone, made sure I was in the hotel.
Okay.
But anyway, it's for me, I feel, look, you put a shirt like this on, you wear a hat like this, get some, maybe walk around, Comm Ave.
Tommy
maybe,
Bahama, baby.
What are you
right,
trying to say?
baby.
You walk around Comm Ave and what?
no, maybe just pick up a younger chick or something,
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding. Everyone's so serious these days. I'm a married man.
Oh,
Freaking Paige, I love you. She's the best.
but I would go after you if I saw that ring.
So
on
how
your
was-
still. I'd
how
be
was
like,
Chapel
that guy's
Bill?
looking
No, it was
so
great. So this
good.
is my thought. I was surprised that he took that job. Right, I think we were all a little shocked or surprised. I think the challenge is probably going to be trying to get the most out of a less talented roster. The worst NFL team in the NFL is more talented. Let's just face it. Like you could have the shittiest NFL football team and you have a roster full of studs. So I think it's might be a little bit more difficult to get the most out of some of these kids that, let's face it, maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 are NFL caliber players. Like you look at NFL teams. How many NFL guys played on your Arizona team?
3 or 4.
3 or 4. How many from Kent State?
3.
3. So like every college team
4.
probably has 3, if 4 max NFL caliber players.
And some have 1.
Some have
maybe
1,
0.
some have none, right? Some have none, especially, if you're
Some have
Alabama,
8,
you're going to have
10.
maybe 8 to 10.
Got a lot
but-
of money at Chapel Hill.
Yeah, but you're going to have to bring in some talent. And I know that like the Big Ten, some of these big schools, they have to cut down on their roster because there's no walk-ons anymore. So they did away with the walk-on. So if you're from Carolina, you're Chapel Hill.
Yeah,
you're-
they pick up. It's
you're
free
trying
agency.
to pick those guys up through free agency. So, it was interesting because there's definitely, you talk to some of these kids, you're like, how old are you? Like, oh, I'm 18. Like, shit, you're 18 years old. Okay. It's pretty wild, honestly. I was a young, I didn't redshirt, so I was young. I was 18 when I was in junior college, and when I got drafted at 21. So my rookie season, I was 22 years old. A lot of these kids, they're, red shirt, gray shirt, transfer year, COVID year. You got some kids that are 24 and you got other kids that are 18. So you have a wide discrepancy there of age.
It's a good word. Discrepancy.
Yeah.
I'm learning. This guy's smart.
Yeah, Purdue guy, 3.2 GPA, not bad.
Oh, Slate only had a 3.1 at UCLA.
I know.
3.2. This
I know.
guy,
I'm pretty smart.
Super whiz.
They,
right
they
here.
say Purdue's like the
Super.
Ivy League of public schools.
All right, next question. Played with Sean. You played with Sean Payton.
Well, I didn't
he
play
was
with him.
coached by Sean Payton.
That's like,
Yeah.
somebody said like somebody stole Bill Belichick's Super Bowl jersey. It's like, yeah, he didn't wear a jersey. Like Bill's never worn. This isn't baseball where which is weird.
manager.
Don't you think the manager's wearing like a full uniform is odd?
Well, that's baseball.
No, it's baseball.
I know, but imagine like Bill in a few
Baseball.
uniforms.
The manager
Oh,
used
a
to play
football
though in the
coach
early
wearing a uniform?
It'd be
1890s.
hilarious. I know. That's
So
that's the history of
Oh,
it.
I thought you were a tradition guy.
I leave our weight room, walk through the locker room, go by our meeting room, go down the hallway. And of course, I'm not really as scared or
Because you don't know yet.
I don't know yet. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not as.
You're naive.
I'm naive.
This guy thinks he can go talk to Bill.
Go talk to Bill. You know, like, can I not go
What
talk
an
to
idiot.
I guess we'll start with how Bill put me in fat camp. You know, like when I was overweight coming in as a running back. And do you want me to go ahead and elaborate on that story?
What is fat camp?
Man.
Was it heavyweights?
Man.
Did he bring in Ben Stiller? Tony
All right.
Tony Perkins?
Bro, it's one of those deals.
Fucking Belichick says Tony Perkins right now?
Man, you get to New England, and of course you're going in there, and it's Bill Belichick. And Bill's intimidating, bro. Like, you got to give it to him, man. Like, he knows what he's doing. He's got a system in place, and you don't mess with him. You know what I mean? You just don't. You respect him. You're in the presence of one of the greatest to ever do it, if not the greatest coach to ever do it. I'm going to give him his, man. He is. Because I played for a lot of ball coaches. But, you know, you have that meeting where you come in there, and you're a rookie. He gives you your playing weight, and he brought me into the office because I go to the weight room and Coach Nash hop on the scale, Ridley, and I hopped on the scale.
How much was it?
And I'm leaving.
How much was it?
About 235, 238, somewhere in
What
that.
year is this? Rookie year?
It's my rookie year. So
You came in at 238?
Came in. I played at LSU around 230. You know what I mean? Like as a running back.
But 8 pounds is 8 pounds.
8 pounds is a lot, bro. 8 pounds is a lot. And you wait till the story gets
All right,
going
keep
because y'all
going.
gonna understand. my
What's the
pain.
weight? What's the weight?
So Nash gets in there. Coach Nash is our strength coach. And he's like, Ridley, hop on the scale. So I hop on the scale, and I think I was tipping that thing at between 235, 240. SEC running back between the tackles. I'm a big back. Hey, I obviously did something right because, Coach, you drafted me. You like what you saw. Nash is like, Ridley, you got some work to do. And I'm like, all right, you know, I ain't scared of work. Coach said you got to be at 220. I said, 220? How? I said, Nash, you're tripping. I told you you're tripping, bro. I said, nah. He said, don't ask me. I'm just telling you what the boss man said. And I said, well, which boss man we talking about? He said, you can go see the head man if you want to. Psh, there I went. You know what I mean? Like, what's the problem? I got to go talk to Coach and see what's up because
Wait, so you went from weight room.
Yeah.
You took that long ass walk down those hallways
to that entry door.
And you saw Bears.
Cross Bears' office. I said, Bears, is Coach available? And I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. I might have been getting off on the wrong foot with Bill Belichick because here I am as a rookie walking into his office trying to tell him what my playing weight would be. But what do I know? I'm a rookie, guys. You know what I mean? I'm just coming in like, Coach, come on. So Nash is telling me I'm 235 on a light day. 240 if I finish leaving the breakfast buffet, eating my bacon and omelets and grits that I get every day. So he's like, we want you at 220 by a certain day. I can't even remember what he said. So I was like, man, that's impossible. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do that. So I walked back. I said, all right, Coach Nash, I'm heading on up to go talk to Bill to see what's up, see if I can kind of work this out.
You thought you were going in there to negotiate a couple pounds.
Go talk to Coach.
You
Like,
thought
hey,
you were going to couple. Coach, you give me 228.
Hey, anything.
We meet at.
Can we meet in the middle? And y'all, when I tell y'all, Coach is so.
So wait, paint the picture. You walk in. Where is he? Is he at his desk at his computer?
Okay. So I leave our weight room, walk through the locker room, go by our meeting room, go down the hallway. And of course, I'm not really as scared or.
Because you don't know yet.
I don't know yet. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not as.
You're naive.
I'm naive.
This guy thinks he can go talk to Bill.
Go talk to Bill. You know, like, can I not go
what
talk
an
to.
Idiot.
Hey, and truly, when I look back on things now.
If I was walking by you in the hallway as a second year or third year guy, I would just like, what a dumbass. All right, so you pass Bears.
Look, so I come down the hallway. You're saying all this to say, I have seen, I don't want to get too far off track, but I've seen rookies, y'all, like on my back end, because I was there for 4 years. I've seen rookies come in and see Bill coming down the hallway, and they would literally like just bust a left or right into a random meeting room because they don't want to look this man in his eyes, bro. Like
Yeah,
Bill
true.
comes down the hallway. I'm not making this up. Cut sweatshirt, hoodie on. Looks like he's been in his office for 3 days. His car hadn't moved. Like, people are like freaked out. You know what I mean? So I didn't know what to do. I walked down there and I'm like, hey, Bears, you can't get to Bill without going through Bears. But if you make that right into that office, you better have a damn good reason to go in there. And I had a damn good reason that day, Coach, because I can't drop all this weight. How you trying to get me to drop it? Let me show y'all how much he cared. I walked in. I said, Coach.
And he's at his desk?
He's at his desk. He's sitting at his desk behind his desk. I said, Coach, can I come in and sit down? He said, yeah, Red, come on in and sit down. Okay.
Did he know you were coming, or was he blindsided?
He was blindsided.
Okay.
He was blindsided. Bears let me in. You know, Bears check said, Steven's here to talk to you.
Did you tell Bears why you were talking to him?
I can't really remember those details, but I definitely
What did Bears go, sure.
Bears looked at me. I guess I walked in. I was like, Bears, is Coach available? And he kind of looked up. And I was like, I just need to talk to him real quick. I guess nothing.
Right. So Bill's sits you down.
And when I walk in there, Bill's sitting behind his desk. And he's like, come on in and sit down. So I walked in and sat down. He's like, what you got, Red? I said, Coach, I need to talk to you about this weight. I was like, I just weighed in, and Coach Nash told me at the weight that you have told him that you want me to play at. And I'm just making sure this is the right weight and this is not like a mistake. And he said, what's the number? I can't really remember what I had. And yada, yada. I said, well, the number is.
You could have gone right there. If you wanted to make the decision, you could have said 225. Because if he didn't remember the weight, maybe he would have agreed at 225. All right, you messed up. Go ahead.
I should have had a better negotiation tactic, is what Jules said. But I'm just in there trying not to die and starve myself out at this rate. So I go in and I say, well, Coach, this weight that you want me at, I said, Coach Nash said you want me at 220. And I said, that's impossible. So I'm just telling you right now, I don't know what it is. And I said, I don't know how you want me to get there. I said, I'll bust my ass and do whatever. But I'm like, 220. I said, can I just tell you a little bit about me? And like he doesn't already know, you drafted me. The Patriots investigate everybody. They know everything about you before they even get you in the building. So I said, Coach,
what did he say when can I tell you about me?
I said, can I tell you about me? And he was like, sure. He's just dry. He's not gonna do much. I pulled out my driver's license. And I pulled out my driver's license. It's a true story. I pulled out my driver's license. I said, Coach.
See, look, I'm 240.
I just want to show you this. I said, Coach, and I promise it's a true story. I said, I just want to tell you, if you can look at my driver's license, I slid it on his desk. I'm bold as a rookie. He's like, who's this clown? You know what I mean? I said, these numbers that are on my driver's license are from when I got my permit in high school before I even got a driver's license, my permit. And on my permit at 15 and a half years old, I was 5'11", 220 pounds. That's how much I weighed in high school. So I said, Coach, you mean to tell me that you want me to drop from 238 all the way down to 220? And he looked at me and he said, kind of smacked those lips. Well, Red, I mean, really, I think it's only about $563 per pound per day that you're overweight. So it's really up to you. And I said, what? I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, per pound per day. And he doubled down on it. I was like, I can do quick math, bro. I'm third round draft pick. I ain't got money like that. So fat camp I went. You know what I mean? I'm like, screw it, Coach. You know what I mean? If that's how we're going to go about it, there's nothing I can do.
So what's fat camp entail?
So fat camp consisted of me coming in. Once I had to drop from 238 to my weight when I was 15 years old of 220, it required me changing my diet with our beautiful nutrition Ted first. Ted put me on this strict diet. I had to come into fat camp, which was running before practice. So we had to come in and either do our workout, before practice in the mornings, or we had to go and do our workout after practice once we got off the field. I was always an early riser, so I came in early in the morning. So fat camp, I was basically in there with all the guys who were overweight that were trying to cut weight. So I would have to go in every morning. I'm talking about it's still dark outside, 5 a.m., and just hit the treadmill and run. And so that was the first time that I think the structure, and I look back on it, I'm like, that structure and that discipline, it made me a good pro because I legit dropped this weight for the simple fact that I was not going to give up my money. And let's do the math. If I'm 238 and the weight is 220, let's do that times $563 times 18 per day. Like, my paychecks are going to be pretty thin. The Massachusetts state taxes weren't too forgiving. You know what I mean? I don't need to be giving away any extra.
8.3 now, right? 6.8. It used to be, and then there's some new shit.
Something crazy. So I got on board with the program, and coach didn't really like yell at me or nothing like that. But I don't know if I kind of rubbed him the wrong way from jump. But it was just like one of those deals. It shook me up as a rook. I'm like, how in the hell am I about to drop 20 pounds or 25 pounds? And you want me to run between the tackle, bang it out with the Brandon Spikes of the world and the Gerard Mayos of the world, linebackers at 255.
Were you better at 220?
Quick as a cat, man. Freaking nasty, dude. Like, once I got to that playing weight, I'm like, hey, Bill knows what the hell he's talking about.
Who else was in fat camp with you?
Dude, I think Big Marcus Cannon was in there early, y'all.
Cannon used to cheat the fucking scale. Remember that? One time Marcus Cannon, he used to have to weigh in all the time. He was always in fat camp.
He was just a
in
big
fat
boy, though, man.
Probation all the time.
Huge.
And he would go in and he would do it with a towel on his weight, and then he'd have a pencil right like here so he could leverage himself up.
Lean.
Remember?
Like lean on it?
Yes, he could lean on it and lift it up. And he would fucking make it. They caught him like 3 times. Fucking Cannon used to have to. He was in fat camp like his whole career.
It's a grind, bro, because people don't really realize. It's like, man, once coach sets this, coach didn't just start coaching.
It never goes up either.
No, that is your weight. So my 4 years in New England, I played at 220. But, bro, I never was like a top-end guy. I never had, like, breakaway speed. So I always prided myself on living by 5 yards a carry. Like, if I get 5 yards every time I touch this peel that's halfway to a first down, I can bang it out with whoever. DBs, safeties, I used to hit those motherfuckers like speed bumps, bro. Like, I wasn't even worried about it. I was just downhill with it. But once you got to the league and you had to lose that weight, you became more of a pro. You know what I mean? And so Bill went back, and after we didn't get the negotiation the first time, I think it was about halfway through the season, I'm like, Coach, can I get a couple pounds? Give me a little bit here or there. He still didn't lighten up, but it was just like I learned to respect that, bro, don't question, just do. You know what I mean? Because it made me a hell of a running back. It really did. And I would have never been there and never even thought about playing that light because I didn't think I had the pop behind my pads to be a first and second down back and a short yardage back like I was, but I was wrong. I can say that.
He's probably at that point in his career seen about 1,000 of you.
Yes, correct. And knows the weight that he wants to make.
He's seen the Herschel. He's seen them all.
I brought that Southern flair to the locker room. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like we believe coming out of LSU, man, it was like you look good, you play good. You got to be swagged out. You know what I mean? You got to have some good tunes and have the energy going. So I used to pull up to game day in the Hummer, you know what I mean? Subs going, beating the block down, holler at my people at the gate. Oh, what's up? Hey? And it was just always good.
He was doing a donut in there for the crowd.
Hey, and that's another story too, man. Remember when we had the big snow? You don't remember this. We had the big snowstorm.
Yeah, we were all just ripping donuts in the parking lot.
In the parking lot. And
I do that every snow.
It crashed into Marcus Cannon.
Did you?
Before the game. Before the game, we're out there just going nuts.
Before a game? I do like on a Friday when there's no one in there.
I think it was like before. I want to say it was before the game because we had the snowstorm. We're taking those back roads, where you go through Foxborough. You had the little houses and everybody was like lived next to each other. So it's like a caravan. All the boys are taking the back roads to get to the stadium. So I see this parking lot that hadn't been hit, no tread, no track in there. I'm like, fresh powder. Whip a right there in the Hummer, and there I go. I'm smashing on it. We're just doing donuts out there. And the funny thing is, I remember it clear as day. Wes Welker's house is in the backyard, and Cannon, I'm doing donuts out there, and all of a sudden you see Marcus Cannon come over the hill, and his Toyota Tundra ramps over the hill, and he's got pipes on his, and he's like, ah, and we're spinning out there and hitting it, just having a blast until, of course, we lose control, and I hit Cannon, and boom. Smack it. And when I smacked it, I looked over and I swear you see the blind slide open like this. And Wes stuck his head out there and he was like, oh, y'all fucking idiots. And he just closed the blinds and went on by his business. Because I really want to say it was either like before game or after game. But I remember seeing Wes with the big old blue eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like he's looking out the blinds. It's like, man, I didn't know if it was a neighborhood of Wes. Like, oh, y'all are fucking idiots, dude. It was funny. But hey, we're having a good time, but that was our Foxborough days, man.
So basically, that story just told me that when Bill tells us before training camp, Don't drive like a fucking idiot in Foxborough. He was talking to you.
He was talking about me.
Okay. Yeah.
He was talking about me. He was.
I remember my rookie year, my welcome to the NFL moment was like I was rolling in like my Toyota rental, and I park it in the way back of the players lot, and all of a sudden there's this fucking huge a fucking semi truck rolls in and parks up right in the front and takes like 2 damn spots, backs in, beep, 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 backs in. This big ass orange semi truck. It's fucking Vince's daily driver. Vince had like a huge semi truck daily driver. He gets out of that thing and it looked just like him in front of the barbecue. Just a comfort zone for him. Just a big ass dude getting out of a big ass truck. Big V was just fucking so cool. That was like my first welcome to NFL. I was like, holy shit. I didn't even know you could buy semi trucks.
Well, speaking of welcome to the NFL, he gave me my welcome to the NFL dosage of a hit.
When?
Training camp, rookie year. You know the wham block.
What's the wham block? Explain
Where
it.
they let go, the guard let go, lets the just defensive tackle free. So then he thinks he's going to go get a sack. And then a wham block is when I come across the line of scrimmage at the tight end position when I'm off the ball, and I'm the one that goes and I wham the defensive tackle and try to block him.
It's like a trap for the tight end.
There you go, exactly. And we're trapping the defensive tackle. So he knows it's coming. I mean, this is a specialty play that the New England Patriots been running.
9-on-7. They know the fucking script.
Well before me. Yeah, it is. It was a 9-on-7. So, yeah, the defense does know the script so they can look really good in the run game throughout that whole period. And I think they also told them this play was coming, being specifically knowing I'm going to block Vince, and they wanted to see my toughness as a rookie. So the play's called. I'm in full pads. You know, I'm like a wham block. I got to show my toughness. I got to show my keeps. I got to get the respect of my fellow teammates, especially the veterans.
Wait. Let me paint the picture also. Rob's a rookie here. V was like the big dog on campus. In practice, no one really gets close to him because you don't want to piss him off. And when you're new, you know, it's like, holy shit, that is a large human being. He's like so big. I think there's like something that orbits him, like on how round he is. Like you didn't want to get in his way. You didn't want to piss him off because he was very intimidating. Get back to your story.
So the play, you know, gets on its way. I do my little two side steps, you know, on the motion. I'm running full speed right at Vince Wilfork. This guy peeks over to his left. He sees me coming. He has this grin on his face, knowing I was coming. He put his shoulder down. I'm going full speed at him, and he gets that leverage and just tees off on me. I went flying backwards 5 to 6 yards. I didn't even land on my back. He sent me flying in the air where I landed on my feet still.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and that hit hurt like a mother effer. But what's cool is I gained the respect of my teammates. And my coach at that time, tight end coach, in that meeting that day when we went and reviewed the play.
Ferentz?
Brian Ferentz. Love you, Brian Ferentz. He's now at Iowa with his dad doing his thing, doing a good job. He goes, yo, what were you thinking trying to block Vince Wilfork? He goes, you're never going to do that again. I go, thank you. Thank you. I go, I'll never do it again. And ever since that day, you know, we had about 5 more of those calls, and I just go up to him, I hug him. I didn't need to try to block him. It was just only going to get me hurt from there on out. Yeah, I just give him a hug like, Vince, no, it's the wham block, man. I know you're going to beat me. Like, there's no reason to go through this motion of me getting thrown backwards again. Okay?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'm going to break a rib.
He's so
and
strong.
I know you love your ribs, and you're going to, you know.
You'll probably eat them.
Yeah, enjoy them after with your barbecue sauce, buddy.
Oh, my. That had to be so terrifying.
It was. Well, at that time, it was.
Because he's an intimidating guy, like when you joined the team, too.
It was terrifying after that because I was trying to, you know, gainer my keeps, man. Like, I was trying to prove myself. So I didn't care who was in my way. And then I learned I do care who's in my way. Yeah, when it comes down to the NFL, that's when you learn on when to, you know, take your shots at someone, when not to, when to block someone hard, when to kind of like just
brother-in-law
box someone out as well instead of trying to hit them full speed. If you hit them full speed, heads up, they're way bigger than you. This is when you start learning the ins and outs.
2016,
the Hightower sack. What do you got on that?
Yeah, I mean, same call. Isn't that crazy? Stack back or left. Same call I just talked about with Ninkovich. It was the same call, but let me go back. So this is you. So obviously, we're in a lot of 5 down. We're playing, you know, really good offense.
it's coming at us fast. We're struggling on defense, right?
Yeah, this is one of the highest scoring offenses in the history of the league.
Yeah, offensive MVP, best coordinator with Shanny, coordinator of the year.
Everything.
Yeah, lost. Okay. So coordinator of the year, best stuff, all that stuff, right? So first half isn't going good. I'm trying to make adjustments. It's long. And then this is another one of those weird things, right? So the night before the game, we got extra time. So I'm like, hey, let's watch this game. Let's watch this game. Let's watch this game. So I had watched the Chargers game and I was like, I need to show this game. So it was the night before the game. I sat down with the defense and I said, listen, I go, this offense can score points. I go, but if we just play the game all the way out, I go, we'll be okay. I said, look at this game. So the Chargers in that year got down early. They got down big. But as you watch the game. To Atlanta. As you watch the game, they just started chipping away. Second half, chipping away. And then they scored. And then they stopped them. And then they turned the ball over. And it got all the way down to the end of the game. And the Chargers actually kicked a field goal and won the game.
Yeah.
They came back from it. It was a big deficit. It was good, kind of like, I was like, I'm going to show this game. So I remember, before the first half ended, I was like, all right, we got to go in this locker room. We got to remind everybody, like, we're okay here. There's another half of this game. And we just saw on tape how they, there's a window here. So we go in the locker room. First thing, we do, because the halftime's longer. I'm like, all right, everybody do what you got to do. I take a couple seconds. And I just got the defense. I said, listen, here's what we're going to do. I'm like, Julio is ridiculous. Like, we had the whole he's injured. He can't play it off his right foot. He's only going to be able to break left. No.
No.
He could break wherever he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to, because I was cheating alignments based on that injury information.
Yeah.
I was like, don't worry about it. And then again, we megged the backside of cover 2. We undercut him. I think it was Logan, and he reached up over the top of Logan and took the in cut. And I was like, oh, shit, we got a problem. So,
in cut.
Yeah. So that was in the first half, it was like first series of the game or whatever. So we go into the locker room. I said, listen, we're going to all the red area calls. I said, we're going to play the red area calls. These are the calls we're going to do. Went through the staff. Go back to the players. And I said, fellas, listen, I go, first of all, first half, here's the issues. This is what happened. I go, remember what we watched last night. I was like, the Charger game. I'm like, we're going to come back and win this thing. I'm like, we are going to be fine. Like, we just go play every single down. We put ourselves in a hole, but we got to play every single snap. These are the calls we're going to make. I go, you got to believe right now because we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And what was happening was Duran was on the bike. You remember this?
No.
Duran was on the bike and he was trying to stay warm. And so I let the players, I get done with my meeting and the players going to the coaches, and Duran starts chirping. He starts chirping. He's like, we got it. Like and I was like, you could feel the energy and you could feel the belief. And then all of a sudden you come in and you're like, we got to go. And you start chirping with Duran, and you guys are chirping back and forth and the energy's building. And I remember walking out, I was like, holy fuck, we're going to win this game. And I just, because I don't know where you came from. I don't know why you were on our side.
I don't either.
And Duran was like chirping, and it was like, you two are chirping at each other. And it was almost like, I don't know if you were trying to pump us up or he was trying to pump you up or whatever it was, but it was just, it built. And I was like, I walked down, I was like, holy shit, we're going to win this game. And I told him before we went out, I said, here's what's going to happen. We're going to get a negative play on the first run. They're going to run the ball. I'm like, hi, if they run it at you, this is a TFL. I'm like, the first third down, they're not going to throw. We're going to double over here. It's coming backside. It'll be 3-by-1. You got to make the play. And it was Eric made the play on the backside. So the very first series, they had the ball, TFL on the first play. They run it to high. Third down, they throw it to Eric. It was like third and long because we had put him in long yard situation. We break it up, they come inside, and I go, here we go. It's going to happen. So we go through the game, and what happened was the series, they're going left to right. So they're going that way in the end zone. Second down run, Coleman is in the game. Coleman was the third down back.
Yeah.
Freeman was the early down back. So Coleman comes in, hands it off, and I look, and he's on the ground, and he's injured. Screwed up his ankle. And I remember watching, I was like, it's third down. Coleman's out. And I clicked on it. I said, hey, hi. I said, hi. Listen, I said, Coleman's out. Freeman's in. I go, we're going stack back or left. I go, don't show it. I go, walk late. I go, he'll never see you. I go get the ball, scoop. We got to score, bro. I go, you got this right now. It was one of those like, Coleman got hurt. It clicked in my head. Freeman was in there. He was going to miss the protection. Don't show it. Walk up late. We're coming right at him, and we're about to score. We didn't score. I thought we were going to score.
Yeah.
But I was like, so I'm on with high the whole time. I go, wait. And I can see the quarterback give Freeman the mic point. And I can see him scan, right? Because he's got the mic and he's got scan. And he sees high inside. And then he goes outside. I go all the way outside the bunch. He walked all the way outside the bunch, and he comes ripping off the edge. And I was like,
no one even there.
I was like, no one even sees him. And he stripped it. I think Branch recovered it.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought we were going to scoop the score. But it was the same call as Rob called in 2014. Rob stopped him on the 3rd and short.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things where it was like, it just clicked in my head. It was like, Freeman's out. You know, they're going to screw up the 3rd down protection. Let's go get him. So that was the turnover, which really then, you know, now we're feeling it.
Then we had the Trey Flowers sack.
So then later in the game, now they're driving. They throw Julio's right there. I was with Julio last year. He's like the best, right? Yeah. And I was like, bro, how far out of bounds did you reach? The little ball is literally 10 yards out of bounds. It's ridiculous, right? Yeah. I'm in the coach's, it's past me and he catches this thing. And everyone's on the headset. It's like, he's out. I'm like literally looking at his feet. I'm like, he's not out. I'm like, he just caught it.
Yeah.
So now they're in field goal range. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm like, hey, Dev, we got a blitz. So blitz Dev, get the TFL. And so now it's 2nd and long. So everyone's like, they're going to run it again. They're going to run it again. And some of my head was like, they're not going to run it. They're going to throw. And I'm arguing on the headsets with Bill. And he's like, they're going to run it. I'm like, they're not going to run it. I'm like, they're the quarterback of the year. They got the offensive coordinator of the year. Like, they're throwing the ball all over the place. I'm like, they're going to throw it again. Like, they're going to get in their own way here. I'm like, so I actually called a 3-man rush because I wanted to have max coverage, but it was a 5-down look. But as they lined up, I look, and now I got Jabal, who's great, sheared. He's on the outside. But now I'm like, oh, shit, it's the wheel route. I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, I'm freaking out because I'm like, this is about to be a touchdown. Yeah. And so sure enough, I think it was Freeman, he releases. I see Jabal, he's peeling on the wheel. I was like, oh, my, like, here we go. And Trey just, because I put him on the nose because of his quickness and his length, and I knew that they would
Alex
struggle.
Mack was hurt.
Yeah, he had the ankle, and I knew he was going to struggle with the redirect, and Trey's arms were so long, he could get into you, and he was skinny, and he just skinnied through, and he gets in, and he sacks him, and I was like, he saved my life, right? So then what happens is on that play, it was that one or the next one, Hightower, he's on, I think it was long, on the other side, and Hightower gets held, totally buried. And they didn't call it. And I see High talking to the official, and I was like, they're going to call holding. I was like, so it's 3rd down. So I'm like, hey, High, go again. So he rushes again. Flag comes out. I was like, pushing him back and forth. I'm like, I don't know how the hell. Like, you just see that stuff. So then, you know, again, the whole thing was they weren't in control of the game. We were controlling the game. We were running. We were stopping the run now. And now we got to cover a kick. And those guys made it unbelievable. They pin them deep late in the game. And I remember clicking on, we stopped them on first time. I remember clicking on to Bill and I go, hey, we're about to win the Super Bowl and the craziest rule that no one's ever seen before. I'm like, be ready for a free kick. Because I was like, if they don't get any more yardage, I'm like, we're going to fair catch this thing and we're going to win the Super Bowl. It's going to be crazy. I think they got like 7, put us out just out of it. You know, and they kicked it out. And then
I was thinking walk-off. Because I went down to return the punt. Yeah. And I was sitting there like, all right, man, if I fucking walk this off, man, I'm going to have the it's going to be the best
It's going to be unbelievable. So then, you know, we go to overtime.
We tried some other shit. Remember we tried the Gamecock?
Bro, I mean, he blew his hamstring out. It was like, that was so bad.
Gamecock was like the annexation of Puerto Rico play for us. Where the guy, like a fumblerooski, give it to this guy.
Fake kneel, hand it over. And
fucking, that was a crazy game.
That was great. So then we win.
Yeah.
It's bananas. So we go through all the thing. I get on the bus, right? So I get on the bus. Tommy's in the back. It's Josh, Laura, myself, Raina, Bill. Tommy's in the back. And I'm literally like, did we win? Like, I don't even know what happened. And Josh is looking at me and goes, hey, bro, he goes, I didn't see any of the defense. I go, I didn't see one play of the offense. It was because every series was like, this has to go right, then this has to. So your catch, I didn't see that till the next day. Yeah. I was like, I didn't see any of that happen during the game. And Josh was like, what happened to you? And I'm like, bro, we got the stack back our left call. He's like, you should see this catch Julian made. And then we ran this. And Josh and I are trying to fill each other in because I'm like, I don't even know if we won. And Bill turns around and he's like, hey, look, he goes, listen, he goes, you know, we got to play these guys next year. It's probably going to be like the first game of the year. They'll probably do that. When we get back, let's make sure we write down like what was good. I'm like, I don't even know if we won, Bill. I'm like, we literally on the bus. I'm like, what are you talking about right now? I'm like,
no days off, Matty P.
I was like, holy
We're
crap.
on
Josh
to
and I,
2017.
Josh and I just looked at each other and started laughing. I was like, what are you talking about? I don't even know if we won the game.
Well, what an episode of Dudes on Dudes / Games with Names. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Comment a dude you want us to do. And remember, rate and review. Call in and ask us questions on the hotline. That number is 561-203-5789. Remember to follow Dudes on Dudes on all the social platforms. That's YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok, Snapchat. We'll see you next week. We'll see you next year. Dudes on Dudes is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.